What's up, everyone? Kaijin Okami here with
Cruellica Kain, unwillingly.
And it's Advent Nebula.
And we're going to be talking about Ultraman Z, episodes 6 to 12.
And we've hit the halfway point of the series.
Pretty much. It's okay, now that we've had the premiere for this year's Kamen Rider series, I can officially say that Ultraman Z is the best Toku series of 2020.
I haven't watched Kamen Rider Saber episode 1 yet, and it sounds like I've dodged a bullet so far.
Yeah, don't waste your time.
01 is still good.
Don't waste your time. Yeah, but that started last year. Saber started this year. And since Saber is garbage, Z takes the crown. But
Wow, through what? Defaults?
Considering
Well, no,
Garo was terrible.
we have Kira Major, which is good, but not Z good.
And
That's
then,
our last year.
Get it?
That started last year too. No, it started this year.
yeah.
Get it? Z good? Yeah! And that's how you know it's not Naruto!
Wrong show.
And let's not forget, Garo Road has been terrible.
Well, from what I read, he never actually fought the Road. So why call your show Garo versus Road when he doesn't actually fight the goddamn Road?
And it was 12 episodes of nothing. Yarning away.
Or actually, it should have been Shiwatch. Alright, anyway, what do we have for our episode 6? Do you mind? Episode 6 brought in Jeed, right?
Yes, the man returns.
Riku.
Riku Asakura.
Yes, that was a pretty good episode. Interesting to see Jeet come in, especially his response when he sees Juggler.
Oh, God. And just when Juggler comes up behind him, it's like, hi, Riku.
Oh no, it's even creepier than that. It's the chin on the shoulder.
Yes, no.
Hi.
It was more like, hi, I need an adult. I am an adult.
I'm a responsible adult in this universe.
And then I like that when Riku when they start talking, and they're like, oh, how do you know him? Oh, he's part of a YouTube podcast that chases after these things.
Yes, because apparently they're stealing from Orb now. So that episode I found to be hilarious.
And that's where we had a little bit more on the, because that was a two-parter.
Yes, it was a
yes,
two-parter.
this was part 1 of 2.
Because episode 7 was when they captured...
His Majesty's Medal.
Yeah, because that's when the dude captured...
The dude.
The alien dude.
The guy that's possessed by the alien.
Yes.
Captured Riku to take the...
essence of Belial out of him.
Belial.
Correct.
To give the monster Belial form, and he still failed.
Yeah.
And then we had Zero come back.
No, okay. You've missed the best part about this particular episode. Riku gets captured.
Oh.
He gets freed by Juggler. Juggler says, don't tell anybody I'm here.
Yeah.
And then Riku comes up to Zet, or Haruki, and he's like, how did you get free? I came to save you. Oh, I got myself free.
Yeah.
Like, he magically got kidnapped and freed
Not
all
only
at the
that,
same time.
but the warehouse battle. When Zet goes into human form and Yoko's there.
Oh, when he's human-sized.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I love the unwillingness of it. Like, wait, what? And then he turns into Zet.
Yeah. And Yoko's response to being saved by Zet in the warehouse.
And then, what else did we have in that episode? Well, we had the interesting fight when they were capturing Riku with those drones. That was kind of cool.
And Master Zero's return.
Especially when Juggler's like, ah, crap.
Well, because Juggler, I want more of what his end game is. Because I will say, at this point, it's still fun, but it's like, okay, we know who you are. We know
Get to the point.
Yeah, we know what you've done in Orb and Jeed.
And then, so what did we have for episode 8?
Episode 8, The Mystic Power. One day, mysterious, beautiful sisters arrive from the four corners of the universe.
The two sisters that were working with the alien that were body swapping. that were posing as humans and kidnapped
And
Yoko.
Kaburagi, who is the guy who gets, who is the evil person, is evolving a super combined monster known as Five King.
Wait. The
Yeah,
two sisters.
Yeah,
I'm trying. Those were the alien.
The aliens that had human forms but went back and forth. They were like bug-type forms in their alien form, but they were... So you had the two sisters who were fighting to collect parts.
and
to
they
gain
kidnapped Yuka, thinking that she was Jeed when she had the...
Okay, yes.
Because
Okay.
Well, we
Haruki
have to
lost
explain
his-
the episode to him.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, because I'm like...
You didn't like the episode all that much. You enjoyed it, but it wasn't one of your favorites.
Because that's where the two girls started fighting the other two, the two sisters.
Correct. It was a girl fight.
Okay.
Because Yuka was trying to become stronger, and Yoko was like the older sister who was ignoring her.
Yep.
So Yuka and Yoko were doing like a girl battle against
And
the
then
two
when
sisters.
Haruki is in the house trying to rescue the two of them, sees his henshin
because
device on the table.
Yes, because that's where he lost his henshin device.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
because and he had to go searching for it, and you had the girls fight all at the same time. It was kind of funny because it was really an episode for Yuka and Yoko.
And that's where they kept thinking, like they kept saying, "Oh, I'm Zet. No, I'm Zet. I'm Zet."
Yes.
They're like, which one of you is really Zet?
Yes.
Okay, I remember that one now.
So now, did you like the episode now that you magically...
Well, I'm trying to remember. Was that the one that had the camera fight from the ground shots then, or was that the Jeed and?
That was the Jeed one.
Yeah, that was
Okay,
Jeed.
because that camera fight with Jeed, when it was all ground shots for half the battle, was really awesome.
Yeah, the episode we're talking about only had about the last 3 minutes, and the first 2 minutes were the only time you actually had any miniature work.
Yeah, and
It
then
was a girls' fight.
9 and 10 were the one with the...
So 9 is Alien Pit Tri-King.
And
No, that's the
Pits. That's
that's
what I was trying
what
to
they're
say.
the
The pit
pits.
were the two.
The sisters.
It was their pits.
Yes. No, the episode 9 is the Unidentified Object Convoy Order. That is a mouthful.
Well, we got King Joe's return.
Yeah, that's the two part. That's the two part.
Yeah,
of King
it
Joe.
starts with King Joe.
Which King Joe's my favorite Ultraman, Ultra or monster.
Because it was the bait and switch type episode as well with storage. Because they were trying to transport the metals.
Which was kind of predictable that they were doing a bait and switch. But I like when she gives the metals to the guy and the guy is just like, shh.
I love how Haruki didn't know he was being duped.
I know! The fact that he did not know. It's like, dude, it's obvious. Deal with it.
But I did like everything with King Joe. And then the alien assassin.
The space pirate alien assassin.
Yep.
Which I thought was pretty interesting to have King Joe being mechanized, basically being a mech that's piloted.
Well, that's what it is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I thought because others that we've seen...
Technically, the alien Pendons are piloting King Joe.
Yeah.
We just never see the
And
Pendons.
then this space pirate admitted he stole King Joe from them.
Because in a couple of the newer ones that we've seen, he's had no pilot.
Well, there's been a pilot, but they've never, even in Ultra 7, they never actually showed the Pendons piloting King Joe.
Oh.
It's just been pretty much hinted at and assumptively that the Pendon are in there piloting it.
Well, okay, that's great for people who have sat through and watched it all, but what about people like me who just catch it and it's like, oh, I'm supposed to know this?
Yes, you should. That's what there's over 50 years of history. Get your history learned.
I still have a hard time learning 250 years of U.S. history, and I lived through a portion of it.
You lived through 40 years of it.
I haven't lived through it. I have found the best comment in the world. I have lived through 27 years plus shipping and handling.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, let's just go with the fact that this year's felt like 10 years.
Episode 10. Here comes the space pirates.
Yeah, that's the other one.
I
Which
know.
that was cool when
Alien Belarusa.
I like when it would take control of the people and start having it talk. It would talk for them.
It kind of reminded me of like Independence Day, where the alien would take over the person.
Also, I ended up enjoying the bait and switch with the head of maintenance tricking the space pirate with his lunch.
Yes! Oh, that was brilliant! I love the space. I love him.
This also probably had one of the best ending comments with Yuka, like, that alien that was in there was really hot. I'd love to dissect it.
I know! And she's talking about Juggler!
Yes. Oh, that's right. Because it had the little cartoonish ending with Juggler when it was going in on him.
Because right when she's like, he's so hot, and he's like, yeah. I want to dissect him. What? Like that fear, like, no. Let's stop at the hot and then never continue.
The fact he spits his entire drink out at that moment.
Oh, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
And they had probably one of the best fights in the season so far, too, with the space pirate swapping out multiple weapons while taking on Zet.
Well, I thought that was pretty interesting because it kind of reminded me of a Gundam. Like changing out weapons consistently.
And I want to know where his bag of holding was because he pulled out like 10 weapons.
Oh, you know he
and
was
then,
rolling.
So then after that we had the pointless clip show.
It was, and it's called SP Special Airborne Armor Secret File.
So yeah, clip show. There's no reason to watch it.
And it's not counted as a numbering.
Yes,
so.
it is because they. Yeah, well, they counted it on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's counted as 11.5.
Well, they don't do it here.
No, it was 11 because 10 was the second part to King Joe.
Well, 11 is what must be defended.
Well, and that's...
They count it as episode 11 here. See?
Yes.
Okay, maybe it is...
Yeah, the YouTube channel also has this as 11 this episode.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because
you just don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Hey, no pinching, no pinching, no pinching, no pinching. Ah! All right, what must be defended? I actually really enjoyed this episode.
Well, we got a bit more backstory for Haruki.
Yes, because we got to learn a little bit more. We got to meet his mom, learn a little bit more about his dad.
Found out his dad ended up sacrificing himself to save civilians during the monster attack.
Which is what I really think is what inspired him to want to become a hero. Which I thought was very powerful. It had Red King as a monster. I still don't understand why it's called Red King and it didn't have a lick of red on him.
I did find it funny when Haruki, he's in normal plain clothes, a hoodie, grabs out his thing, jumps into the Zet thing, and suddenly he's all in uniform.
Yeah.
And it's like, huh? What? How did that happen? And then when he gets done being all Zet, he's in uniform. It's like, what the heck?
They magically changed his clothes.
But that was a good episode, especially when you had the two different battles going on at the same time, even though I swear that more than 3 minutes had gone by in that fight. He was Zet for like 20 minutes at that point.
But I really liked it because it was a really good example, which kind of leads into the next episode that we just watched, but this is a really good example of not all monsters are monstrous.
This ones were just protecting themselves and their newborn egg.
Yeah, it's kind of like the monster with hay fever. The only reason he was evil is because he was sick. He had allergies.
And he was woken up and he became grumpy.
Yeah, he didn't want to wake up.
But yeah, I did like the way they go into that, because after he kills the Red King and then he goes...
The father, I'm
And then he goes after the next one, he's like, wait a minute, they were defending an egg? And then all of a sudden, he just gets like messed up from that.
It does, but I think it's important because it really shows that there's more to monsters than just being black and white, evil and good. Because technically he hasn't met any that are good.
This is his first time meeting monsters that are just trying to survive.
Yeah, because Jugless is a troll. And he trolled him, so he doesn't know anything about him. But, so I think that was important, which really does lead into the episode that we watched today, The Cry of Life.
Which
because
that giant... That was a cool monster.
Yeah,
with the gun.
the idea of a monster that was captured and used for experimentation to create their mechs.
Which creates Sevenger and Wyndham.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell, truthfully, even though the monster was taking advantage of it, you could tell that the monster truly was in pain.
Yeah, it was reacting in retaliation to what had been done to it.
Absolutely, it was reacting in fear because it technically was abused for 10 years. So you can understand, while you don't agree with its reaction, you understand why. And I really think it was a powerful response that Yoko made is, no, I don't want to kill everything. But I want to protect others, and if I have to be the one to pull the trigger...
I'd rather it be me than somebody else.
Yes, which I thought was an important thing, because truthfully, that's a military mentality of, I'm doing it to protect others. I'm not doing it because I want to kill things.
Unlike Yuka, who I think just wants to experiment on everything that's alien.
When she pulled out that giant body part from her fridge again.
Yeah.
The same fridge.
And it's not even stored properly. Let's talk about ethics and OSHA requirements.
And not only that, the entire room's going, oh, that thing stinks. Even Juggler's like, no, put that away.
But the fact she pulls it out, first of all, it's on a plate like a turkey.
And then she's going, check this thing out. And I pulled it off the skin graft from when they were fighting the monster.
But yeah, when she pulls it out, and all I'm thinking is, whose food was in there? Because everyone seemed to also put their food in that thing. Or maybe they decided after the last incident that, nope, no more food in there.
I will say what was really surprising about this is the fact that even though Zet is kind of in control when he transforms, Haruki's emotions prevent him from acting.
Yeah.
Because he was about to do the Zetsium beam twice, and both times, Haruki, seeing the monster in agony, flips out
and then
the
the second time, Alpha Edge, his armor completely dissolves.
Yeah, he goes back to his base form.
Exactly. And it's like, okay, I wonder how this is going to change their relationship now, because you not only have to deal with the emotional frustration of Haruki, but Zet doesn't know.
Yeah, and they need to come to terms on what's going through their heads right now, because there's not a communication between the two.
No, I will say that is the one, admittedly, I would say before this episode, that was one of the flaws I had, is they really didn't have like a camaraderie. They had a camaraderie, but not continuous communication.
Now they're going to be forced into it.
Yes, I do think this is going to be a turning point.
Alright, however, for me, the highlight of this episode was the new King Joe.
The tank form?
And getting to see it separate.
Oh, yes. Well, every time we've seen anything with King Joe, that's all you ever want to see is them be separate and interacting as individual forms.
Oh, what is your like of King Joe actually being part of storage now, except for the name?
Yeah, except for them always saying, King Joe, storage custom. King Joe, storage custom.
It kind of reminds me of somebody who's doing one of those model kits.
Like, I don't care. You don't need to tell me it's a storage custom every freaking time. But yeah, I like what they've done with King Joe. I think it's a great idea. And I'm surprised it actually took this long to do something like that to King Joe. Although it is kind of funny because back at the beginning of the series, when we saw Sevenger, I was like, oh, he looks kind of like King Joe. And like, oh, well, maybe they're going to do something where they're going to have a King Joe become their mech later on in the series.
I will say the most badass scene of this episode is after Yoko and King Joe kills Grigio, and then you have all this wall of flames behind King Joe, and I'm like, this is the hero getting the villain flames.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you see King Joe just merging back together in the flames.
Oh my god, it was so badass.
I love the work that they did for that scrapyard that the monster came out of.
Not only that, but the miniature work they used with the tank form of King Joe, just catapulting the monster completely out of the city.
Oh, the fights, and because it wasn't, once again, a heavy Ultraman fight, it was nice to see a different dynamic, where it was once again not just about the Ultraman itself, because he was mainly used as an auxiliary last resort weapon.
Yeah. And then going back to the previous episode with the Red King, that's probably the best miniature work these series has had so far. Especially with the way they were using the miniatures with the Red King in the background.
Well, I will say overall, the miniatures for this particular series have been brilliant.
Oh,
they've really...
Subaraya has done, all these modern Ultra shells have been phenomenal with their miniature work, and it really shows that out of all the Toku companies, they're still king when it comes to miniatures.
That is fair.
Yeah, it was very fair.
Even 50 years later, they're still rocking those miniatures.
And even the monster suits, even when they don't change designs, they're still having an original feel to them.
Alright, so yeah, final thoughts so far. Zet has still been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I hope Bill Creek gets the license of this one for a Blu-ray release here domestically, because I'm really enjoying this one a lot.
Oh, absolutely.
I just hope that we do have some sort of like main thing start kicking in at this point, since we're halfway through.
Oh, so you mean like a main focal point for the story?
Yeah, or especially with the possessed Uzi guy.
Kaburagi?
Yeah, that's his name.
Whatever. Yes.
Kaburagi.
Well, and then also, with considering Belial is a plot point in this, again, we need Jeed to come back towards the
I don't want Belial back. I'm tired of Belial. Enough Belial.
I want to know what Juggler's endgame is.
So I want to see them finally do more with the dude.
Because at the end of the episode...
Juggler's goal...
Kaburagi.
Well, yeah, the dude is Kaguragi?
Kaburagi.
Kaburagi. Juggler's... What Juggler's
Because
goal...
he had a smirk at the end of this episode after Yoko kills Grigio. So I'm wondering if there was a purpose to that.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then... I actually do want to see Orb show up.
Well, I'm wondering now how long Juggler has been in this world, because when the chief, who we haven't seen since...
Right before the fight with King Joe taking over the facility.
So we haven't seen the tiny chibi chief, I'm going to call him, because he's so adorable. Since we haven't seen him in quite some time until now, it seems like from the comments that were made, Juggler has been in this world for at least 10 years. So the question is, do all the universes run on the same timeline?
Well, they can't, because remember in or I don't know, but because Orb was like Orb Origin showed him in modern day, but then obviously in Orb he somehow goes to the past in a timeline.
So yeah, so they must run separately for the universes, because if in fact he was there for 10 years, or how
did Juggler end up possessing the body at some point? This is not, and maybe its original Juggler came from this universe.
That is possible as well. There's so many questions out there. So it's just interesting. I would like to see more. I would like to see where they're going with the whole coins thing, so they can get to, I guess, like a main villain.
And his ultimate form for Zet.
Because there's still
so
3 more medals
Ultraman
left.
Zet Ultimate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the final 3 medals, which should be popping up soon.
Well, the final 3 medals will probably be another attack, and then he'll combine them all to do his ultimate glory.
So he'll be like Wizard Eternal?
Mm.
You mean Infinity?
Oh yeah, Infinity! Infinity!
Come on, you gotta do it like 20 more times.
No.
Alright, so until next time,
Bye!
bye.